What is up, everybody? So this is going to be a crazy video. So you probably saw on the title right here, we're going to be ranking all of the Generation 1 Pokemon. So let me explain my thought process with this. So what my plan was is to kind of once a week for the next 8 weeks release a tier list for all of the Pokemon in that generation. So this one, of course, is Generation 1 from Kanto. Next week will be Johto's Pokemon, or Generation 2, and stuff like that. And then hopefully we'll have a season finale kind of live stream where I rank every single one of these little effers. All 800 and whatever. But right now, this is the Kanto list. So let's get right down to it. So to go into it, these are the Pokemon right here. If you're unfamiliar what a Pokemon is, they're little creatures. You should know what a Pokemon is, especially if you're on my channel, but you never know. And this one has the Generation 8's regional variants, the low-end forms. So as you can see, little Vulpix right here. And also has Generation 6, has the Mega Evolutions as well. So yeah, this is a really definitive list. It does not have Generation 8's regional variants, so there is no extra Meowth, for example. But other than that, this is a pretty all-encompassing list. So I say let's just get right down to it with the first Pokemon on the Pokedex, Mr. Bulbasaur himself, S tier. I'm going to confirm it with its nostalgia bias. Bulbasaur is always my starter, go-to starter. He's my choice out of all these guys. He's basically #1 cute boy. I mean, look at that face. Ivysaur is pretty cool. He's getting A tier, and Venusaur B tier. I think that is completely fair, including his Mega as well. I think Bulbasaur is the cute boy. Ivysaur is cool, that's why he's kind of A tier, and Venusaur, you know, it looks powerful and menacing, but yeah, that's just, I think B tier. Oh, I should probably talk about this as well. I'm not talking about their viability in battle or power, it's mainly design and what my thoughts on the Pokemon are. This isn't a tier list of viability. If you're looking for that, that's not, I'm not the expert with that one. Charmander, he is cute boy. Charmeleon, I'd say he's the same as Ivysaur, he's the cool starter. But Charizard also goes B tier? Yeah, I'd say B tier. I'm a big fan of both of these Megas, but actually, no, I'm not so much the Y. X looks super sick. It has the shiny Charizard coloring, you know, like the black and blue. And I'm a sucker for blue fire in things. I just think it's so cool. While the Y, it just looks like a more advanced, like, kind of like an elder Charizard. And it just doesn't really change too much. Mr. Squirtle will go A tier. Wartortle, I don't want to disrespect him, at C tier. He is C tier. Blastoise, I don't know. That just, the Squirtle line, Squirtle is pretty cute. He's a cutie. But I don't really go for Squirtle ever. It's either Bulbasaur or Charmander, so yeah, I think Squirtle deserves to be A tier because the fact all stars are basically designed to be really cute and cool looking, you know? Like, at least the first starter, because they're trying to get you to choose that Pokemon. So, yeah, I think that's pretty fair as of right now, and the starters are all in the top half of the tier list. You know, like A through C is the top half, D through F is lower half, so they're doing good. And speaking of lower half, these two guys right there, and you know what, let's put Weedle and Kakuna. They're all D tier. You don't really spend too much time with them. They're only found in like the first couple routes. And then you don't really see them ever again. And they're just kind of designed to be like the really tough, like kind of like the little weak bug Pokemon that just evolves really quickly into their fully evolved forms. Like Butterfree is B tier. Beedrill, I'm thinking B tier as well. You know, B tier, yeah. Beedrill, I've always liked him. He never is really good at all. It's not a good Pokemon. Even in Generation 1, I mean, I know you can... Generation 1, he can do some work, but Butterfree, if you were playing the Charmander route, Butterfree was your friend, because it could take out the first 2 gyms. No sweat. Like, his confusions just destroyed Brock's teams. And I've always kind of respected that. I always catch a Caterpie just so I can get a Butterfree. And that's normally the last Pokemon I get rid of for my full team. Butterfree does some awesome work. And then Mega Beedrill, that's definitely A tier. I mean, that's the Killer Hornets, that's the Asian Death Hornets, whatever they're called. That's basically what he is. Look at that sleek bad boy. He looks like a little war machine. Honestly, Pidgey, D tier. Pidgeys are kind of, I don't know, it's weird. I don't want to be disrespectful for the Pidgey, because it evolves into the mighty Pidgeot. Although I've never had a Pidgey long enough to have a Pidgeot. So I think Pidgeot goes, a Pidgeot, I think it's, how do you pronounce it? Let me look at it again. Pidgeotto, there's Pidgeotto and then Pidgeot. I can never pronounce those two. Pidgeotto. He's the cool one out of the two. That's the one I always recognize. When I think Generation 1 bird, Pidgeotto is the one I think of. Pidgeot just looks like a Pidgeotto. Like as a kid, it always confused me. I can never tell the difference between the two. And they don't really change too much, and that's just what Generation 1's all about. The Pokemon are kind of the same, if that makes sense. You know, like, they didn't have a lot of variances. And nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to incite some, like, Pokemon wars. Mega Pidgeot. I'm probably just going to go D tier with him as well. He's just borderline. Like, if... You know what? He's going right... No, I'm keeping it in order. But he is basically like a D+, C-. You know, just almost there, but I still prefer the tried and true Pidgeotto. Which Pidgeotto is pretty much like a C+. That is... He is so close to being B tier. But I just don't feel comfortable B tiering him. If that makes sense. We got the Rattata family right here. Okay. Rattatas and Raticate, they're just ugly, and Raticate, that one is just super ugly. Honestly, do I put a low-end Raticate at F tier? He's dark type, he's just a fat Raticate. I just don't like looking at him. Stop it. He's F tier. Raticate, just a fat rat. Also, the Rattata and Raticate, well, I've never been a big fan of, like, the Generation's normal types. Except for, like, Gen 2, Gen 3. They had some good ones, and then they just kind of just go crazy. Generation 1 is no exception. Well, they started the trend, and I do not like the trend. Rattata and Raticate, you just see them everywhere. Rocket Grunts have them, and they're just not, they're pretty much like cannon fodder. Although... Dark-type Rattata, Alolan Rattata, he's a little cooler. I like his little mustache with the... I think it's the trope in Japanese media that, what's it called? Thieves have like they tie their masks underneath their nose for some reason. Maybe I'll put like a little graphic or something, or maybe I can't find anything. Who knows? But yeah, I kind of like that. It kind of has... It just takes the... really bland Rattata and makes him a little cooler, you know? If only they were able to do the same with Raticate, but I guess they're trying to make it like a city rat, and the city rats are generally more fat because they find human food than Nature's Rats? I don't know. I just don't like Raticate. Alright, so we have Sparrow. I don't know what to think about Sparrow. You know, I've always seen Sparrow as kind of like the rival to Pidgey, and I'll put Pharaoh in C tier. I always ran with both of them. Don't get me wrong. I always saw Sparrow as if you need power right away with a flying type, you go for Sparrow. Like right now, you just go with that, you know? But I feel as if Pidgeot overtakes Pharaoh in the grand scheme of things. You know, Sparrow is good for, is that his name? Pharaoh. I keep on calling him Sparrow. Pharaoh is a good one for that. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about, but you know, like he is good power, but this one is more of a, like Pidgey's a more like kind of, you're investing into it, you know? And that's how I kind of see it. Also, the designs. Always as a kid, I thought Pharaoh looked real, like, cooler than Pidgeotto, but now I'm looking at it, and Pidgeotto looks, like, 10 times better. Ekans. Cute little snake boy. B tier. Also, if you haven't known, what is Ekans backwards snake? Arbok is Cobra backwards. Although, never was a big fan of Arbok's design as much, I do think it's cool that the pattern of his hood changes generation to generation. I love that the little touches of like regional Arboks have different faces on their hoods. And also Cobras are super cool animals. And Arbok though, in the first generation, he was not that good of a Pokemon. He never really is that good of a Pokemon. They don't have a lot of power, they don't have a lot of good moves other than like Bite. Actually, no, he had Rap that was, like, overpowered in Generation 1. But same with Ekans, so, you know? Top half is good for Arbok. Alright, Pikachu himself. Everyone knows Pikachu. I put him C tier. You know what? Do I put Raichu on B tier? I think I like Raichu just a little bit more. And a low-end Raichu can go right with Pikachu as well. For those that don't know, the original design was Pikachu was supposed to be the first one, then Raichu, and then there was supposed to be a evolution for Raichu. And that's how the 3-line goes. I think that would have been cool. But as we know, Generation 2 released Pichu. You know, I feel bad for Raichu. I think Raichu is a cooler design than Pikachu himself. I mean, Pikachu, like, don't get me wrong, I like Pikachu. Pikachu is like the mascot of Pokemon. So I think he does that pretty well. I mean, he's approachable. He's a cute little thing. Everyone knows how to say his name, you know? It's just, he's pretty cool. But I think Raichu's a little bit better. And the soft edges of low-end Raichu, I love the fact that he's like a psychic type. He's like flying on his, like he's surfing on his tail and all that cool stuff. But I don't know. I think normal Raichu, better. Sandshrew himself, he is awesome. I love that little low-end Sandshrew. He's a little igloo. The Sand Slashes, I think the normal goes B and a low-end goes A. They're both awesome designs. Sandshrew and Sand Slash are just, they're just the best. I love their designs. They look so cool. I mean, Sandshrew is so cute. Sandslash has that cool mole, whatever. Just looks like he can take you out. And that's what I like about him. And then, like, the low-end Sandslash, he has, like, kind of like the ice pick claws to help him, like, climb up, the face of mountains and glaciers and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool, too. I like both of them. I like a low-end's Sandslash probably just a little bit more. Out of all 4 of them, he is probably the best, Sandslash himself. Alright, the Nidoran line. Nidoran female. E tier, D tier. Never was a fan of the Nidoran female line. I always saw Nidoran male line as just like the more powerful of the two. And I know this could be taken way out of context, but I think Nidoqueen has its uses. I just don't really like the design. I mean, I like the idea between all 6 of them. Like, they were the early gender Pokemon. But I just like the male versions just a tad bit more. Nidoran male, C tier. Nidorino, B tier. Same with Nidoking. And And I think that's fair, honestly. I like the jagged, I like the pink of them, the jagged lines. They look just poisonous. They have that, like, don't mess with me, especially him. He's like, I might be a bunny, but don't fuck with me. That's what he looks like. It gives that look. And you know, I can respect that. The Clefairy line. C tier, Clefable, C tier, and that's it. I don't really care too much about it. And you know what? D tier. I just talked myself down of it. I'm not a big fan of them. They're kind of just middle of the line. Middle line. I hate using the word, but they're kind of filler Pokemon. You know, I know Clefairy was supposed to be supposed to be Pokemon's mascot, and got overtook by Pikachu. Well, unfortunately, Clefairy, you've been overtaken by Pikachu on this tier list of a guy on the internet. I hope you feel bad. Okay, that's just Vulpix. Alright, little Vulpix. He's getting... You know what? He is cute. He's cute enough, or she is cute enough. I always kind of see Vulpixes as females. Maybe I'm messed up. Maybe I'm getting myself canceled. And Ninetales is a C tier, you know? But Alolan Vulpix, so cute. Like, oh my god, that's so cute. And then Alolan Ninetales is about the same level. They're kind of interchangeable in my opinion. The Kanto and the Alolan. They're kind of interchangeable. So that's how I feel about them. But look at how cute that thing is. It's so cute. Oh, it's so cute. It's adorable. The Jigglypuff. And then Wigglytuff goes down there. Like, I always liked Jigglypuff. I loved Jigglypuff in the anime with its singing. Like, she would follow around the cast and would sing and get all pissed off at them that they fell asleep to her, and then draw over them. Because it doesn't realize that its sing powers had the ability to put people to sleep, which was really weird. Like, the whole move set of sing, it was basically like Jigglypuff's deal, but other Pokemon had it, so it kind of, like, the anime, I know it doesn't really connect too well with the games, but the anime made it seem like Jigglypuff sing itself was the thing that's causing it to sleep. But you know, Jigglypuff is kind of personal. It's one of the, like, mascots of Pokemon, in my opinion. You know, like, there's the Pikachu, there's the Jigglypuff. They're kind of, I think it's probably because of the fact that Jigglypuff's always been in Smash. That's probably why it is. Everyone recognizes Jigglypuff because of Smash. That makes sense. And for some reason, they put Zubat in here twice. It might be a joke with how much Zubats appear. I don't know. Did did Zubat have a variance? I don't think he had. Golbat, I'm just sneaking in E tier. I've always disliked Golbats. I'm glad we got Crobat. Crobat is awesome. Zubat, I want to say B tier, but I think C tier. He's probably like a C+. I wish there was a way to put a little C+ and forever have it right there. He is borderline. And just look at him, he's a cute little bat guy. The Oddish line. Gloom, I'm putting in E tier. I've always just, Oddish is a D tier. While Vileplume is C. I was always more of a fan of the Bellsprout line than I was with the Oddish line. The Oddish is just like it's a moving, like, weed, I think it is, or like some kind of sprout. I forgot the origin of it. I think maybe like a radish, wild radish or something. But, you know, I never really was big on Oddish. And Gloom just kind of disgusts me a little bit with its, like, bulbish flower thing on top, and then it's like, it looks like it's always asleep. Just clean yourself up. Come on, you're in a fight with Pokemon. Clean yourself up a little bit. Also, Oddishes seem to always have some terrible moves. I mean, Vileplume has some cool moves with, like, the pedal dance. It was like the original pedal dancer. I don't know. I always like, it's kind of cool. It's, out of the three, I always thought Vileplume was pretty cool. And it was way better than Blossom, too. Paris and Parasect. C tier for Paris. Parasect? Arceus also C tier. One of my first games I played was actually Gold. It was the first Generation 2. That Generation 2 is my favorite. And I had a Parasect on my team. My first ever team. That team was terrible. I could not beat the second Elite Four. But Parasect was in that team. He had it was Slash and everything. It was Spore and everything. And you know, Parasect's not that bad. I'd say middle of the middle is just completely fine for these two guys right here. Venonat and Venomoth. Venonat goes C tier. Venomoth goes B tier. Venonat, I know people talk about how Venonat kind of looks like it's supposed to be Butterfreeze, but I think because of the fact that the moths, I think it works. It does lead credence to it though. I get what everyone's saying, but Venonat is just like a little fluffy gnat thing. I never really understood what it was. And even now, I can't even say for certain. It's just a little gnat, and the gnat evolves into a moth somehow, but they're both annoying little things that kind of are attracted by the light. But Venomoth, look at him. He's so cool. I've grown to appreciate Venomoth, you know, as his design looks really cool. And also, it's just a bug, just a bug poison that knows a lot of psychic moves for whatever reason. We don't question it. Alright, the Diglettz. You know, I'm putting little Diglett in B tier. Little tuft of hair Diglett, the lone one, is C tier. Dugtrio is D tier. He-Man looking Diglett is C tier. I've always thought y'all are probably gonna hate me, but out of the two, just basically three of the same Pokemon, I think Dugtrio is the worst. Magneton is the best. And I don't know why. It just is a bias, I guess. My brother really loves Magnemite Magneton. He loves that line. And I guess it just rubbed up on me. But the Diglettz, I never really liked the Diglett line as much. I mean, Diglett is cute. He's cute. He's a funny little whack-a-mole thing. What is underneath his body, the rest of the body? We'll never know. And I just like the meme, like the pictures and the fan art and the memes of Diglett too. And just, I appreciate the Diglett. I know it's a nose, but I know some people see it as a mouth, and that little white spot is his tooth. I don't know if you can see it, but I'll probably blow it up and show a picture of that with the tooth. And some people will always see it as like a mouth and tooth, but it's a nose, and that's how I always see it. And then Dugtrio is just basically three Digletts, but they're angry. But yeah, I never really used Diglett in game before, so I can't really talk about their viability, but who knows. The Meowths. Alolan Meowth, D tier. This is E tier. This is just a abomination Garfield looking crap. Persian gets D tier, and you know what? Meowth gets a C tier just by the basis of him being in Team Rocket. And that's it. There's nothing to say about Meowth. I mean, Payday is probably the only benefit of having Meowth, and then Persian benefit is like the #1 slasher. But the design, though, I don't really like it. It's just not good. Psyduck and Golduck, you're just going D tier because you're totally forgettable. Except for Misty Psyduck, you're pretty cool. Mankey and Primate, both of them D tier. They're really forgettable. Sometimes I forget these guys exist. They're just weak fighting types. Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee are just like 10 times better, both in design and viability, in my opinion. So yeah. Oh, Growlithe and Arcanine. Both of these guys. Automatic. Well, Growlithe is B tier. I think Arcanine is definitely an A tier. Honestly, no. Arcanine is so close to being S tier. Oh, this is tough. I'm keeping Arcanine A tier. Fun fact, one of my first, like, quote unquote, competitive team, I had no clue what I was doing. I was just putting guys together. Arcanine was on that team, so I've always kind of liked Arcanine. because of that. You know, he's part of I kind of like Arcanine because of that. Arcanine has a really cool design. Anytime I'm given a Growlithe, I'm like, sweet, here's a really excellent fire type Pokemon, especially because Arcanine just looks so cool. He's a cool dog. I mean, look at him. He's just staring at you. He can run at the speed of light. So cool. So cool. The Polys. Poliwag, Poliwhirl, and Poliwrath. I think all belong in C tier. I know old friend of mine, Logan, loved the Polys. And I think I've told that Poly story in the past before. But if not, I'll have to tell it again maybe some other time. But no, I've always just liked them because he liked them. But then I'm like, this is stupid. I won't say... I'm not saying they're good. They're just kind of there. They're just there. Politoed out of the 4 is definitely worse. And I think Beta Poliwrath is probably better than what we got now. But, you know, it's cool that he's a fighting type. You know, and, you know, in this generation, there wasn't a lot of dual type fighting types. So, there you go. Abracadabra and Alakazam. You know, Abra is a C tier. Kadabra is a D tier. I forget about Kadabra and the fact that we never had a trading cord. So I always hated Kadabra because I could never get an Alakazam. Alakazam, he's going A tier. I've always liked Alakazam's design. And then I'll put Alakazam, Mega Alakazam in C tier as well. Always liked Alakazam's design, and it might be unfair to Kadabra, but I always was stuck with the second forms. So Hunter, I think I like the design. No, I'll save Hunter for that, but always like the design of the third ones, but I can never get to those. So I was always just like, I kind of resented those, you know, same with like Machoke. I'll put Machoke down here too. Always resented because I can never get the trade because I never had a trade cable and never knew anyone with a trade cable, you know, so we were stuck with second form Kadabra and Machoke. And you know, Machamp, I didn't really care too much about Machamp. Machop is C tier as well. But same thing. I didn't like Machamp is just ew. I'm not a big fan of Pokemon that look like people. You know, D tier. Machamp is just D tier. Pokemon that look like humans scare me. So I'm putting Machop in there too. I'm just all over the place, but Pokemon that look like humans, freaking ew. Bellsprout, yes. He can go right here. And then Victory Bell is A tier. Like I said, I like the Bellsprout line more than Oddish line. Almost as much so that I will change almost to the point where, like, I know they're the two versions. It's almost to the point where I don't know which one is which, but I will more likely choose the side that has a Bellsprout than I would with Oddish. Like, that's how much I like the Oddish line more than, Bellsprout line more than them. Tentacruel is someone I forget about. Tentacruel, I'll give him a B tier. I like the look of Tentacruel. Tentacruel was really just, it looks like I think it's based off the Manowar jellyfish. And I kind of like it. I love the tentacle look. It just looks, it looks menacing. I know it's not that strong of a Pokemon, but just its design just looks super just like, I'm gonna mess you up type look. Alright, so the Geodudes. Geodude is C tier. Alolan Geodude, I think, also is C tier. This one's actually tough. Graveler, never really dug on Graveler, but I think Alolan Graveler makes up for it. Normal Golem goes C. Alolan Golem gets a B. In my Sun and Moon playthrough, Sun and Moon, that was such a terrible sentence. In my Sun and Moon playthrough, Alolan Golem wrecks crap. I used him, and he's a really good. I think his Rock, Lightning, Electric is his typing, and that's really cool. I think it's way better than normal Golem, because it just, what is Golem? Like, what is a Graveler even? What is the Geodude line? I mean, seriously. They're just I don't understand them. Like, Graveler has, like, it goes from just having 2 arms to 4 arms and a set of legs to a set of arms, set of legs. It just is so weird. Wow. Alolan, like, what caused like, evolution to go from normal golems go to Alolan, go to power plants, or more power plants are found more, like, electricity in the ground, and becomes a freaking taser. Like, what's going on? I kind of like the taser look of him, you know? It kind of has a taser cannon thing. It's just weirdness. The Geodude line is just so weird to me. I don't understand him. The Ponyta, cute but forgettable. Rapidash, also forgettable. That's more like a C-. Slowpoke and Slowbro. Slowpoke gets a C. Slowbro, aka Paul, for those that, if you get the reference, there you go. Paul the Slowbro. And then, I don't like Mega Slowbro. Mega Slowbro is just, I don't like it. It's just, what is going on? The shell is eating him alive. The poor thing. Magnemite Magneton, or B tier. I just love the simplicity of its design. Like, its little, like, robotic magnets that kind of get together. Magneton is probably a little less. Maybe this is just a standard B, while this is B-. But Magnezone is super cool, which we won't see that until Generation 4. Alright, so, Farfetch'd. Fun fact, as a kid, I always thought Farfetch'd was, like, the pre-evolution of Doduo, and then Dotrio. I thought they were in the line, never really interacted with those 3 Pokemon. So, whenever I saw the Pokédex, and I saw them like that, because, remember, I didn't really go into Generation 1. I played Generation 2, and I saw the Pokédex. I saw, like, on Pokemon Stadium, when you couldn't really evolve the Pokemon. I thought they were together, but they're not. Farfetch'd is forgettable. In the original game, you can only get him in a trade, I think. An endangered Pokemon, which is an interesting idea. Maybe the fact that it's carrying around the leak kind of help whoever wants to catch it and eat it. Doduo is the same. Dotrio, also C. I think they're C's. We were getting a lot of C's. Seal and Dewgong, just D. Especially the name. I mean, they look like really beautiful Pokemon, but just, I forget their existence. And just because of the fact just how, just dumb. They're just dumb. I know that's mean to both of them, but they're just dum-dums. Grimer and Muck. You know what? Normal Grimer goes C tier. This goes C tier. This guy, Alolan Muck, is A tier, while Standard Muck, I was about to say C tier. I'm gonna be good to him. Muck. He's B tier. You know, a Pyro Slime is really just dumb, but it really works in like a fantasy, like these are Pokemon type thing. You know, he gives the credence to me that an ice cream cone can be a Pokemon if a Pyro Sludge can be a Pokemon, you know? And I no disrespect to Muck. I think Muck is super, super cool, but it's just what Pokemon is, I guess, if that makes sense. I don't really understand it much myself, but that's just how I feel about it. Shelter, I forget about him. However, Cloyster, he's super cool. I'm putting them right next to Muck in the B tier. He is I just like the shelly spininess of him, and just like the cold, like he looks just like something that will just take it. You have to really think about how you're going to take out a Cloyster. Also, always thought Cloyster's pearl thing, the little black pearl, was a Ghastly as a kid too. I was a crazy kid. Speaking of the Ghastly line, Ghastly will go B tier, Hunter C tier. Honestly, I love Gengar. You know what? We don't have a lot of S tiers, not in this game at least. I didn't really grow up with this generation, so I don't really have too many connections. But Gengar is S tier. I mean, he's Specky Ghost Boy is probably the best way to put him. He loses a little bit of it whenever he megas, but he's still really cool. But just something about his just grin, it just reeks of just like, it's like a combination of like really just evilness, but in a like a fun kind of way. He's kind of like the Joker of Pokemon, if that makes sense. Just that grin looks like he's having the time of his life being evil, if that makes sense. Heard it here first. Gengar is the Joker of Pokemon. Onix, E tier. I mean, the Rock Snake will be, it seems super cool. I'm breaking my own rule. Rock Snake is super cool, but he's just not really good at all. Like, he sucks. He just sucks. I break my own rule, but I don't care. Drowsy is D tier. Hypno, honestly, is F tier. I do not... Hypno it's just creepy. His Pokédex is just... Ugh. He lures kids away. He's a frickin' pedo. We have Pedo Bear, the Pokemon. Let's start going kind of rapid fire here a little bit. Krabby, C tier. I'd say C tier is fair for her. Kingler, I like Kingler's design. It's simple, but you could tell the difference between them. Like, yes, this is Krabby, and then it's Kingler. He looks like Krabby, but it's like, it looks like a natural evolution, if that makes sense. If this was a real thing, this makes sense. If they were real, Kingler, that looks like something that will evolve from a Krabby. It's just as simple as that. And his design's super cool. I love that his super big claws. And just the way, his menacing look, his animation in Stadium is what I really remember too. He just looks super cool. But not enough to be A tier. Voltorb, I'm giving him a F tier. Electrode is at least an E. I think Electrode's a little bit better, but both of them just, I don't like them. Except for the fact, if you were to tell me you had to draw a Pokemon and I have to know which one it is, and you only have 5 minutes to do so, Electrode gets the nod. It's just a big old ball. Execute goes C tier. Alolan Executor is A tier. I feel he is funny. Especially the fact that it's a dragon type as well, but I think it's because of the fact it's a certain type of palm tree that's a dragon palm tree or something like that. Who knows? But yeah, that's how I feel about that. Cubone definitely B tier. Marowak, yeah, I'll give it the nod for B tier, but Alolan Marowak, it's super cool. I love the fire dancing aesthetic of him. It's just a little bit extra, and then it adds the story of the what is it? The story of its mother dying. It's channeling her spirit into the bone. Its dance. I found that super cool. I love the story of Cubone, which makes it wonder why is it like available in the wild. I think that just kind of ruins the whole thing. If it was just like a one-time Pokemon, like if every single game gave you a Cubone, like it's just like a one thing, or they're not really found much in the wild, that would make a lot more sense with its story. But oh well. Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan goes C tier. Hitmonlee is A tier. I think Hitmonlee, actually S tier. You know, screw it. Hitmonlee is super cool. I've always liked Hitmonlee way more than Hitmonchan. I don't know about which one is better to choose. I know Hitmonchan is a little bit more defensive, but just based off style alone, Hitmonlee is the one I go with. Lickitung, I'm going D tier with Lickitung. I just forget about him, and then whenever I remember him, just, ew. Coughing and wheezing. I've always had a soft spot for both of these guys, so I'm going B tier with them. Rhyhorn, D tier. Rhydon, D tier. Rhydon's super powerful rhino thing, but, you know, I'm not a big fan of the... Is it Ganges? Is like the giant creatures? I'm not the biggest fan of that. The only exception is like Tyranitar. I think T-Tar is pretty cool, but I get what they're going for with this guy, but at the same time, I'm not a big fan of what they're setting down, if that makes sense. Chansey, it's a cute Pokemon. It's just forgettable. I think it's fair. I'll put Chansey in C tier. Tangela gets a D tier. It's a plate of spaghetti. That's what he is. He's walking spaghetti. And he's looking upwards. Kangaskhan, aka what should have been Cubone's evolution. B tier for him, for her. And then Mega Kangaskhan, also B tier. You know, the little baby coming out and fight too. I find that pretty cute. Like, it's not a mega evolution for Kangaskhan herself. It's more for the little baby Kangaskhan. It gets mega evolved and starts fighting. I think that's cool. Horsey is forgettable. D tier. Well, Seadra. That is Seadra. Kind of tough. Seadra, I say C tier is probably pretty fair for it. I like the spikiness of it, but Kingdra is really cool, but we won't see Kingdra yet. Goldeen. Honestly, I forget Goldeen exists. Sea King, just for the meme, Sea King, fuck yeah. It's C tier, just because of that. Sea King, C tier, he is the king of C tier. Also, he is a koi fish, which is really cool. You know what, I'm getting a little unfair to Goldeen. Goldeen, you can chill up in C tier as well. Speaking of the C, Staryu, Starmie. I've always liked Starmie is pretty cool. I like the idea of a starfish Pokemon, like the starfish aesthetic. I like the gem on it. I just think Starmie's way more like a cooler design, and the fact that those little back ones spin, especially in Stadium, if you know what I'm talking about with the animation there. But it's really cool. Staryu is just, hey, I'm here. It's the participation Staryu. Mr. Mime is garbage. Anyone who says otherwise just doesn't know. They promote fake facts. Same with Jinx. Jinx is freaky. Freaky and scary. Scyther goes B tier for right now. He goes A tier. I think Scyther is super cool. I like its swords on his hands. It's like a praying mantis. I think it's based off a praying mantis, and praying mantises are super cool bugs. Electabuzz and Magmar, I'll be completely honest, those are both Pokemon that I thought were introduced in Generation 2. For the longest time, I never knew Electabuzz was introduced in Generation 1. I thought it was Gen 2. Like I said, I was always, I was more Gen 2 than Gen 1. Generation 2 was my first official Pokemon. So I associate these two more with Generation 2 for whatever reason. And apparently there are other people that think the same way as me, I guess. If you think as well, let me know in the comments. If you thought Electabuzz and Magmar, do you associate them more of Gen 2? Especially with the fact that they got their baby forms in Gen 2. It makes sense. Pinsir is cool boy. He's going B tier. Mega Pinsir, though, he goes up to A tier. Because that is what a Mega Evolution should look like. It makes Pinsir look super scary. Like, I do not want to face off against something that sprouts wings like that. It's like that meme, like, it's all fun and games with the bug until the bug sprouts wings and starts flying. it's super, just so cool. I wonder if anyone's keeping count of how many times I said super cool. Tauros goes D tier, mainly because just I forget about Tauros' existence. Magikarp, I'll put him B tier. Gyarados goes there in A tier. Mega Gyarados, however, goes C tier. He looks like a shrimp. I do not like Mega Gyarados at all. Just standard Gyarados, just fine. Just fine. Lapras is another Pokemon I forget is one of the OG 150s. And you know what? I like Lapras, don't get me wrong. I like Lapras, but I forget about Lapras. And every time I remember Lapras, it's just like, oh yeah, that exists. Ditto is a cute little blob. Alright, the Eevees. Eevee itself goes A tier. Jolteon goes A tier as well. Same with Vaporeon, actually. Honestly, they got 2 out of the 3 of the Eevee evolutions down really well. Flareon, I've never been a big fan of. Like, it looks super fluffy. Like, it is the #1 one I want to pet. But I think those 3 are just way better. Just overall, in my opinion. And then Eevee is just cute. Who can look at that and think, oh, that's not cute. Eevee's cute. He is the cutest Pokemon. It is scientifically designed to be the cutest Pokemon. Porygon is C tier. I like the idea of a computer-generated Pokemon, but I just forget about him. I have to put him in B tier. The Omnanite. He is the Helix fossil. He is all hail Helix. Well, Omastar, you know, I'll put him B tier as well. Kabuto is B as well. Kabutops, I think that's the final S tier. I love the design of them. I really do. Honestly, with Arcanine being almost S tier, this is like a really good in-game team. Those 5 right there. Aerodactyl is B. I mean, C tier. Oh, I grabbed Snorlax by mistake. Oh, this is going on way too long. This is... Woo! We're almost done, Zeke. It's like I'm doing my own version of the Pokemon rap. C tier just for Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl's really forgettable in my opinion. I don't know. I don't know what to think about Aerodactyl. That's why he's C tier. Snorlax, also C. The legendary birds. Articuno is C. Zapdos is definitely an A tier. And then Moltres, I would say, is B tier. Actually, no, switch those around. Articuno is way better than Moltres, design-wise. Yeah, Zapdos has the kind of spiky, cool aesthetic going for him. Articuno is like the sleek version of it. I like that. Moltres is just, it's a phoenix. You know, I could see what they're going for. Dratini. I always think of Martini when I say its name. Dragonair is A tier. Most definitely. And then Dragonite, D tier. Like, seriously, how can something that looks like that, beautiful and elegant, turn into a derpy fucking dragon? I mean, seriously. Mewtwo goes B tier. Fighting Mewtwo goes C tier. And then other Mewtwo just looks, you know, B tier, I think. That's the good one. And then finally, Mew is cute, A tier. Holy crap, I did not expect that to be... sorry, doing a little stretch. Whew. Did not expect this to be Dylan. I've been recording for almost 55 minutes. And I kind of feel it. This has been tough, but I hope y'all enjoyed it. I mean, seriously, this is the finished tier list right here. And let's just slowly scroll the way through. There we go. All right, thank you all so very much for watching. If you've made it this far, clearly you like the video. Please press that like button though. That really helps let more people check it out. If you have any, also if you agree or disagree, please let me know in the comments. Let me know what your S tier Pokemon will be. But yeah, I thank you all so very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.